Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's show. We're on episode 2 of Round 1 Amusement. Hope y'all had a happy Christmas and a happy New Year. Anyways, we're jumping into episode 2 of Round 1 Amusement. We're going to share our stories on how the experience was at Round 1 Amusement. Uh, if y'all have been there for more than a day, um, how was your experience? If you've never been there before, uh, you are welcome to check out check out my videos before you go there for the first time. Anyways, let's dive into how my experience was and how to play one of the games that I've played at Round 1 Amusement. So here we go. My experience was 100% awesome. Although it seems expensive for especially for bowling, food, or games all at the same time, unless you do just of all one of all the activities. Um, well, in fact, me and my former caregiver David went there for the first time, played it, and we were just there to try out the games, play them, see how they go, and I gotta say, these games were really fun and were really amusing. Just like going on the magic carpet ride at Castles and Coasters the other day. And anyways, let's dive. But anyways, let's dive in to how to play one of the games. For this episode, we're gonna talk about how to play Fast and Furious, the arcade, not the supercars. That's not what's there, but this huge arcade with the huge screen. That's the game I'm talking about. It has this orange and green uh, color on the seats and the section around the wheel. That's the game I'm talking about. And we're gonna talk about the demonstrations and and how to operate the game. So here's how the game is demonstrated and how to operate it. So number one, how to start the game. Let me pause for a second. All right, we're back. So steps on operating Fast and Furious. Number one, how to activate the game. All you need is a game card full of credits. You just gotta make sure that you get you get a game card at the game card center, and you just gotta pay for it. Um, game card for is $20. Depending on how many people you're getting the game card for. Luckily, they can pay for. Luckily, people can pay for their own game cards, and you don't have to get them for every. You don't have to get them for everyone. Especially not even your guests when when you hold a party there one day. Uh, they can just pay. They can just pay for their own game cards. But yeah, it all depends. But I will say the game card is $20, and you get and you get 100. You would get 100 credits on the card. Yeah, yep, that's right. 100 credits on the round one amusement game card, and after you pay for it, all you gotta do is, and when you get to the arcade, all you gotta do is to swipe the card. You just want to make sure you swipe the back, the black side with the black line side. That's the barcode. You gotta swipe barcode first. So yeah, all you gotta do is swipe your game card, and once you swipe it, you're in the game. You just gotta press start and choose your background and choose your car, and all you gotta do is press the start button and steer your wheel to choose a background and your car, and then you press start, and then before the start of the race, it gives you it starts getting ready to take a photo. All you gotta do is not smile on the camera for a photo or a selfie, and you gotta make sure your whole face is on the camera. Like lean back a little bit, and the photo will snap. After that, you're on the game. Anyways, number two. Number two. How to play the game during the race. To steer left, steer the driving wheel to the left. To turn right, use the driving wheel and steer to the right. To boost, you'd use the same button, just like on Cruise and Blast. You'd press the start button, which would also be the blast button, and that will get you ahead of the other players. So that's your boost button, and for the pedals, for the right, and for the speed of the car, you press and hold the pedal with your right foot, and it'll speed up the car. So that's right. You press your right pedal with your foot, and the car will speed up. And there's it's probably a left pedal that you can slow down. Wait, actually, there's no left pedal because I think the car moves by itself, but it might be at a slower speed. But if you press and hold the pedal, again, like I said, you speed up the car in the game, and then to do a black flip or something to try to get ahead of the players. Another way of doing it is releasing the pedal and then pressing the start button, pressing both the start button and the pedal at the same time, and that would flip the car, make it fly. How fly is the game? And there you go. I think that's how you play the game. Oh, I forgot to mention, if you want to change the color of your car, you'd press either the blue or the orange buttons on the game to change the colors on the car. All right, I think that's about it for how to play the game when you're racing, during the race. Now we're on to step 3, and that is if two people want to play. So if you and the second player wants to play, same thing with the game card. You just gotta make sure uh, the second player has a game card. That's what I would recommend, because you don't want to use the same card you'd use for your side, for the player's side, because you don't want to use the same card for um, the same card you'd use for your side and the player's side, because that would use up your credits. So it's recommended that you and the player both have you and the second player have two game cards. So yeah, it works just the same. It works just the same way for single players, but uh, two player modes. You just gotta swipe. You just the second player. All they gotta do is same thing as single players. Just swipe the card, and then just swipe the card, and then they're in the game. So yeah, the game works exactly the same for single players, for two player modes. Uh, all you gotta do is all you gotta do is all you gotta do, however, is you know hold the hold the start button if you don't want to wait for other challenges. Yeah, all you gotta do is, just like on Cruise and Blast, you hold the you'd hold try holding the button, and then it should go through. I know trying new games can be difficult, but the more we practice, the the more we practice, the better we get at it. Anyways, um, yeah. Anyways, that's pretty much how it works for two players mode. Uh, any, anyways, that's about it for how to play Fast and Furious, both single player and two player. Uh, Now let's talk about the overall of the game. Now let's talk about the overall of the game, uh, and what I like about it. We're just gonna call it the overall. My overall about the game is that it looks so amusing. I didn't know it's by Raw Thrills until now, and the fun thing about it is that you can act is the the fun thing about it is it's like you're at a race. It's like you're at a real life race event, where you get a where you're given a car to race in, or you can choose a car for racing, and then when the race starts, it's like it's like you're driving in a car. That's what I would say for me. It's like every time I go on a car arcade, it's like I'm driving a real car, especially in a race event. But but in reality, it's a game. Um, and yeah, and the last thing we're gonna talk about for this episode is how this game is like. I forgot to mention the last thing we're going to talk about. The arcade is how the game is like compared to Cruise and Blast or any other car arcades. How it's like, basically how it's like for Cruise and Blast and all the other cars. The start button does the start button does the start button has the same features in common. Uh, it might be different. But all overall, the boosting and uh, the boosting and the gas pedal, those are the same with the arcades. So is the steering, and but what's different is that Cruise and Blast, it has the like some type of the hood, and so and that might be a hassle, especially if you're tall, especially for such tall people. While for Fast and Furious, I would say it's a little bit better, especially if you're tall, especially for tall players. And um, and as a bonus, and as a bonus to the arcade, all the games we talked about, including the comparisons of Cruise and Blast and the other Cruise and Blast versus Fast and Furious. I will say the game is okay for kids of any age to play. It's okay for kids uh, to play with at any age, just as long as just as long as uh, you- just as long as the game is not so uh, not so violent. In fact, it is not violent. Not violent. It's not violent at all. So the game is pretty much okay for kids to play. Anyways, that's about it um for this episode. I hope you like this episode so far. Happy New Year, everyone. Uh, Happy New Year, everyone. And will be episode 3 will be released in the new year, 2024. Until then, this is your guy Bobby signing off.